Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to your very first, I'm calling it spiral reviews, which means that we're going to be going back to skills that we learned at the very beginning of the year and practicing them. We are going to be doing these pretty much every Friday. We are going to have a couple bonus spirals before we go on spring break, but this is something you can start to look forward to on most Fridays for sure as we practice those skills that it's been a while since we did, so that way we brush up on them before we leave for third grade. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. You are going to need some paper and a pencil or your whiteboard and a marker. Either one is completely fine. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I have 10 or 11 problems, 10 or 11 types of problem. I'm going to do one and walk you through it kind of like we do in our math workbooks, and then you're going to do the one on the other side of the slide on your whiteboard or on your piece of paper to get more practice. When we're all done, there will be a little quiz for you to take, kind of like a quick check, but it'll be a form, a little quiz, kind of like the ones that we do on Fridays or on review days for math. So let's get started with our first problem. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are just starting off with nice and easy problems about addition and subtraction and how we have to write out the word problems. Word problems are a huge thing that we have to focus on, so let's try out these couple. Here's my guided practice one. It says 36 bugs are on a leaf, 22 bugs join them. How many bugs are there in all? So this is really important, the words that they use. 36 bugs were there. 22 joined them. Now, if something joins, it is being added. So we are going to be adding. We can also tell that we're adding because it says how many are there in all. Remember, magic words. Here's how I'm going to set it up. The 36 that started on the leaf, plus, that's what these circles are for, plus the 22 more that joined them, equals. And then I'm going to solve it. Now you can solve these problems however you'd like to, friends, whatever strategy you like best. If you like using a number line, or if you like stacking them up in standard form, or any other way that you like to do it, drawing out place value blocks, stuff like that. But I'm going to stack mine up. So 36 plus 22. So 6 plus 2 is 8. And 3 tens plus 2 tens is 5 tens. So my answer is 58, which means that there are now 58 bugs in all on the leaf. That's a lot of bugs on one leaf. Let's read yours. There are 83 baseballs in a box. There are 24 baseballs in a bag. How many more baseballs are in the box? How many more is a great way to tell you that you need to be doing subtraction. So write out your equation here, then solve it, and then come back to me when you think you found your answer. You ready? So I know that there are 83 baseballs in the box, which is the bigger number. And I want to find out how many more baseballs there are in the box than in the bag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 83 from the box minus the 24 from the bag. And that will tell me how many more baseballs are in the box than are in the bag. So I'm still just going to stack up my problem here. That is my favorite way to solve these. Remember, if you want to do a number line or anything else like that, you are more than welcome to. 3 minus 4, I can't do that, so I'm going to regroup. I'm going to borrow a 10 here and make this into 7 tens and bring those 10 ones over here to make 13 ones. Now 13 minus 4 equals 9, and 7 tens minus 2 tens equals 5 tens. So there are 59 more baseballs in the box than are in the bag. Let's go look at our next problem. Okay, we have a couple more word problems here. There are 11 fewer students in Miss Yeager's class than Mr. Curley's class. Mr. Curley's class has 34 students. How many students are in Miss Yeager's class? So we know that there are 11 fewer in Miss Yeager's class than there are in Mr. Curley's. Mr. Curley's has 34. So to find out how many are in Miss Yeager's class, I need to take the total number in Mr. Curley's, which is 34, and take away 11, because there are 11 fewer in Miss Yeager's. And then if I solve this, I should be able to find out how many are in Miss Yeager's class. So I'm going to do my stacking again, just because these numbers are pretty easy. So 4 minus 1 is 3, and 3 tens minus 1 10 is 2 tens. So there are 23 students in Miss Yeager's class. Let's check out your problem. There are 37 green grapes and 17 red grapes in a bowl. Joe ate 15 of the grapes. how many grapes are in the bowl now. Now, you guys, there are 2 steps to your problem. First, you need to find out how many grapes there are in all first, and then you need to take away the 15 that Joe ate. Try it, pause me, come back when you think you figured it out. Okay, so first we have to find out how many grapes are there in the bowl. There are 37 green and 17 red. We need to add those together to find out how many there are in all in the bowl. 37 plus 17. I'm going to stack those up. So 7 plus 7 is 14. That is 4 ones, and I'm regrouping my 10. Now I have 1 10 plus 3 10s plus 1 10. That is 5 10s. So there are 54 grapes in the bowl in all, but that's not the end of our story. There were 54 grapes, but then Joe ate 15. So now I need to subtract those 15 grapes that he ate. So 54 minus 15, and I need to find out what that equals. 54 minus 15. Okay, 4 minus 5, I can't take 5 away from 4, so I need to regroup. I'm going to borrow a 10 over here, make this a 4, and bring those 10 ones over here to make 14 ones. Now I can do 14 minus 5 because that equals 9. And then 4 10s minus 1 10 equals 3 10s. So there are 39 grapes left in the bowl after Joe ate his 15. Let's check out our next page. Okay, friends, I didn't really warn you about this, but here is what we are going to be doing. I have 20 problems here for you, and here's what you need to do. Either on your whiteboard or on your piece of paper, you are going to set up your paper with 20 spots. Let me show you what that should look like. If you're using a whiteboard, go ahead and make little rows like this. So I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to keep going until I get to 20 because there are 20 problems. Same thing on a piece of paper. So you're going to keep going. You go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So notice, friends, once you have your paper numbered, you are only finding one missing number in these facts. So sometimes you're going to find the sum, which is the answer to the addition problem. Sometimes you're finding the missing addend, which is the missing number. You are going to write that number on your spot. So for number 2, I'm going to write the missing number next to it. So if I think 6 plus 7 equals 15, next to number 2, I'm going to put a 6. And then I'm going to go on to the next one. That is all you are writing on your paper or on your whiteboard for this. I am going to start my 1 minute and 30-second timer. I would like you to try and do as many of these as you can before the time runs out. Please do not keep answering problems after the timer goes off. Each week, each time we do a spiral, we're going to do a slide like this, and I want you to see how much faster you get, so how much time you have left if you finish them all, or how many questions you finish, and you'll see how many more you finish each time, okay? Do your best. This is just for fun, just for practice. Here we go. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ding, 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 ding. Go ahead and put your pencils down. Put them down, put them down. Okay, let's check your work, shall we? Now, if you get one right, just put a little check mark next to it or a little star if you'd like to. If you get it wrong, just leave it blank, okay? Don't do anything with it. Here's what we have. 9 plus 6 equals 15. 8 plus 7 equals 15. 7 plus 4 equals 11. 9 plus 5 equals 14. 3 plus 8 equals 11. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 10 plus 9 equals 19. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 1 plus 17 equals 18. 16 plus 3 equals 19. 7 plus 6 equals 13. 11 plus 4 equals 15. 4 plus 7 equals 11. 9 plus 8 equals 17. 3 plus 12 equals 15. 11 plus 3 equals 14. 12 plus 9 equals 21. 0 plus 6 equals 6. 11 plus 7 equals 18. And 12 plus 5 equals 17. Count up how many you got right. Just write it next to your little paper here. It would be great if you can keep track of how many questions you got right each week or each time. I may add more questions. I might make our time shorter. I will see how you guys do, and we'll see how much more I need to challenge you as we keep doing our spirals. Let's see what's on the next page though. Okay, so on this page, we're going to be practicing our even and odd numbers and identifying which is which. So remember, an even number, every part of the number has to have a pair. So for example, we have 8. If we drew 8 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice I'm able to put them in a pair. So those two go together, those two go together, those two go together, those two go together. I know that 8 is even then. 8 is an even number. I can also see that 4 plus 4, so 2 plus 2 is 4, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So 4 plus 4 equals 8. My even numbers can be split in two addends that are the same number. So 10 is even, which is 5 plus 5. 12 is even, which is 6 plus 6. Okay, so try it over here. See if you can tell, is 11 even or odd? And 6 plus what equals 11? See if that helps you. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to make pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This guy does not have a pair, so that means 11 is an odd number. Okay. Another way I can check is I know that 6 plus 5 equals 11, and 6 and 5 are not the same number, so it's not equally split. That means it is an odd number. Good job, friends. Okay, on this page, we are going to be talking about the arrays. Now, it has been a while since we did arrays. Remember, an array is when we show objects in rows, which are going across. So a row, and columns, which go up and down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of hearts. There's 2 rows of hearts. We need to count up how many hearts are in each row and add them up. That's one way to write a number sentence for our array. And then we can count up how many hearts are in each column and add them up. And that's another way to write a number sentence to show how many hearts are in our array altogether. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's do the rows first. How many rows are there? There are 2 rows of hearts, 1 row, 2 row. How many hearts are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So guess what? My number sentence is going to be 4 plus 4 equals 8. There are 4 hearts in this row plus the 4 hearts in this row, which equals 8 hearts in all. And then down here, we're going to do it by columns. How many columns of hearts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many hearts are in each column? 1, 2. So here's what our number sentence is going to be. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. So we still have the same total of hearts. The number of hearts in all did not change, but we just changed our number sentence to show 2 hearts here, plus 2 hearts here, plus 2 hearts here, plus 2 hearts here is the same as 4 hearts and 4 hearts. See if you can find out your 2 number sentences over here for those triangles. Pause me and come back when you're done. Okay, so I see 2 rows and 5 columns. So I'm going to do the rows first. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles in each row. So my first one is going to be 5 plus 5 equals 10 triangles. So these 5 triangles plus these 5 triangles equals 10 in all. Now for columns, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns with 1, 2 triangles in each column. So I'm going to say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 10. Notice the number of my triangles didn't change. I just talked about the 5 in each row and then the 2 in each column to show there's always still 10 triangles in my array. Okay, we are moving right along, friends. This is something we very recently talked about, so this shouldn't be too tricky. We are going to examine the hundreds, tens, and ones charts here, and we're going to say what is the value of each number in the place value. So let's jump right in. It says the value of the 8, this 8, is how many hundreds? 800, which is the same as 800. Okay. So the value of the 8 is 8 hundredths, or 800. The value of the 2, this 2, is 2 tens, or 20. And then the value of the 1 is 1, 1, or 1. That one doesn't change a whole lot. Try out over here, fill in the blanks, come back to me when you have them all filled in. Okay. The value of the 5 is 5 hundredths, or 500. The value of the 7 is 7 tens, or 70. And then the value of the 8, this 8, is 8 ones, or just 8. Easy peasy. This is really helpful when we are doing expanded form. So for example, for 821, we would say 800 plus 20 plus 1. For 578, we would say 500 plus 70 plus 8. So that's why this is a great skill to also practice for that. Let's see what else we're doing. Okay, you might recognize these. We need to fill in the blanks in these tables and use our patterns and our place value skills to find the numbers that are missing. So I'm going to jump right in over here. We're starting at 633. Now I can see that 633 and then another number and then 635. So I think I'd go 634 here because that would just be adding 1. I can also double check because my next row down has 644, and every row I go down, I'm increasing by 10. So if this is 644 down here, this would have to be 634. And then I'm going to keep counting. 635, 636, 637, 638. And then down to my next row. Now this one I don't have my beginning number with, and remember we can't keep counting after 638. So instead I'm going to use my tens to help me find the missing number. This is 633. This is 653. Every time I go down a row, I'm increasing by 10. So 3 plus 10 would be 4 tens, and 4 tens plus 1 10 would be 5 tens. So I would have 643 here. 644, 645, 646, 647, 648. Last row. We have 653, 654. Notice in this column here, my tens are increasing by 110 each time I go down. My ones place is not changing, and my hundreds place hasn't changed yet either. 655, 656, 657, 658. Okay, you are in charge of filling in your chart. Come back to me when you think you got them all done. Okay, I am going to quickly fill these in, so double check yours, maybe put a star or a check next to each one you got right. So I know that this is going to be 284 because the one below it is 294, and 10 less than that would be 284. 285, 286, 287, 288, 289. Okay, we're down to the next row. 294, 295, 296. Ooh, that's a crazy 9. There we go. 297, 298. Ooh, this is the tricky part because I can already see this is 299, and I know that the next number is 300. So that means that we're not in the 200s anymore. So my hundreds have changed. So now 304, 305, 306, 307, 308, 309. Great job, you guys. I hope you got a bunch of those right. Let's go do a couple more problems. Okay, on these last 2 slides, we are just getting into more practice with our addition and subtraction. So these are going to be pretty straightforward. You are more than welcome to pick any strategy you want to solve them. Okay, so you can use partial sums, you can use a number line, you can use breaking apart, you can use any of those different strategies we have taught you. I am going to use a number line for this one. So I'm going to draw my number line here. It's beautiful, I know, you're welcome. And because I'm doing addition, my bigger or smaller number can come first, it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna start with 35 because then I know I have less to add on. And then I'm gonna make jumps by tens. So I see that there's 3 tens. So 10, 10, and 10. I added 3 tens, which means I added 30. So plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. And I know 35 plus 10 is 45, plus 10 is 55, plus 10 is 65. And then I just have 4 ones to add. So 66, 67, 68, 69. And I could label these just to make sure I'm being very clear. I added 1 each time. So my answer to 34 plus 35 is 69. Now, of course, you could have done that without a number line, but I just chose to use that tool. Go ahead and solve 57 plus 18 using whatever strategy you like, and then come back to me when you have your answer. Okay, I'm just going to stack these up for this one. So 57 plus 18. I know 7 plus 8 is 15. So that's 5 ones here, and then I'm going to regroup my 10. Now I have 1 10 plus 5 tens plus 1 10. And I know that's 7 tens. So my answer is 75. Okay, let's go practice a little subtraction. Same thing on these slides here, friends. We're just doing subtraction this time. Now I have 95 minus 23. I'm also going to use a number line for this one this time because I think that would be really helpful. So because I'm doing subtraction, I have to start with the bigger number and I have to start down here at the higher end of my number line. Because remember, 0 is always down here. We just might not put 0 on the actual number line, and then our numbers get bigger as we go this direction, okay? So 95 has to go down here. I have 2 tens to subtract, so I'm gonna make 2 jumps of 10. So 1 and 2. So 10 and 10. And I know 9 tens minus 1 10 is 8 tens. So 95 minus 10 is 85. And 85 minus 10 would be 75. And now I just need to take away 3 ones. So I'm just going to count back. 74, 73, 72. So that means my answer is 72. But I'm going to label these real quick. 72. So 95 minus 23 equals 72. Go ahead and solve 54 minus 19 using whatever strategy you like, and then come back to me when you have your answer. Okay, I'm going to stack this one. I just like to do a little bit of both. So 54 minus 19. Now I have 4 minus 9. I can't do that. 9 is bigger than 4, so that's not going to work. So I need to regroup. I need to borrow a 10 from my 5 here. So I'm going to make this 4 10s. And I'm going to bring those 10 ones over here. So 4 ones plus 10 more is 14. So now I have 14 minus 9. 14 minus 9 equals 5. And 4 10s minus 1 10 equals 3 10s. So my answer is 35. Great job. Okay, I know that was very different than what we normally do, but it is something that's going to help us really practice those skills that it's been forever since we even thought about. So I look forward to seeing you again next week, or maybe the week after that, I'm not sure, for a brand new spiral. And then I will see you for sure before we go on spring break doing a couple more spirals and many more math lessons. But make sure today that you do the quiz on Google Classroom, okay? It is more review questions like the ones that we just did. And then make sure you get in your Math Facts Pro or iReady practice time. I will see you back here next week, friends.